Please be advised, Manor Furnace is located on private property. No trespassing is permitted.
Hey Rock Room, Dirtman here, not with just another special report, because currently, all we know about what took place here on Manor Furnace Road in Chelmsford from 1830 to the mid-1840s basically comes from the History of York County, Volume 2, and it states, Manor Furnace, situated in the northwestern part of Chelmsford, was erected about 1830 by William C. Cornwell. He operated this furnace successfully in manufacturing pig iron with charcoal until the financial panic of 1837. The ore was obtained from Chestnut Hill in Lancaster County and from mines near Loganville. It was originally known as Sarah Ann Furnace and later Manor Furnace. John Herr of Hellam Township purchased the furnace and operated it for several years. The business was discontinued before the opening of the Civil War. The chestnut timber used in making the charcoal was obtained from the vicinity of the furnace. But what if I told you just about all of that is wrong? Well, today, this report is going to rewrite the lost history of Manor Furnace. My research into what is now basically a pile of rocks has led me to not only misinformation, but missing information. But now, I've taken that short paragraph of what we know and found almost 100 pages of history. And my discoveries wouldn't have been made possible without the hard work of Virginia Hodel, the great-great-great-granddaughter of William C. Cornwell. So, let's go back to the beginning. After fighting in the War of 1812 in Baltimore, then captaining riverboats on the Susquehanna River, on November 10th, 1817, William C. Cornwell marries Susanna McNamee and settles in Lancaster County. Then, in 1831, they purchased adjoining tracts of land from Jacob Boyer and Michael Sangre, noted on this survey from December of 1831. It also shows a sawmill right here. And with abundant iron ores on these properties, Mr. Cornwell builds an iron furnace. And as a world-famous geologist once told me, furnace masters usually name their furnaces after their wives. And this case is no different. He christens it Susan Ann Furnace, not Sarah Ann Furnace, but we'll get back to that in a minute.
Cornwell builds the furnace using the beautiful metamorphic Octoraro Formation rocks common to this area. Here, still stacked perfectly after almost 200 years.
However, the challenges of his local ore producing low-quality iron led to financial hardship, and times were tough here. In the midst of a lawsuit with his partner John Gamber, Cornwell places this ad in the Columbia Spy in March 1834, looking for the hauling of iron to Port Deposit. A month later, John Gamber wins his case against Cornwell, and then signs his share over to Locks and Becker. However, 10 years later, in May 1844, Cornwell's appeal in the PA Supreme Court overturns this case, but the damage is done. John Gamber later builds Sarah Ann Furnace in Lancaster by 1839, as William C. Cornwell's Susan Ann Furnace's fires slowly burn out. It's now 1836, and William C. Cornwell has lost his partner, John Gamber. His shares of Susan Ann Furnace, now run down and burned out, sold to Locks and Becker. But out of these dark times came the rise of its highest production totals yet. So I'm off to the Special Collections Department at Millersville University for an amazing discovery. This is the actual daybook from 1837 from Susan Ann Furnace.
67 handwritten pages by George Locke's son, Zachariah Locks, working at the furnace for his father as a bookkeeper from January 1837 to May 1838. It details how coming into 1837, the furnace was being rebuilt, new hearthstones are laid, and workers are being paid. And quality iron ore is hauled by cart from John Myers Ore Bank, 7 miles away, just east of Chestnut Hill Road and the town of Ore Valley, just south of York. Not Chestnut Hill in Lancaster County. In fact, it was
right here, buried beneath Fitz Park and surrounded by a development. As reported to the 50th PA House of Representatives in 1840, the iron ore occurs between disintegrated seams of slate in nests and loose deposits.
With the area long ago bulldozed and developed, the only visible evidence of these disintegrated seams occurs when a new house is being built, like this one, going up almost on top of a former ore bank.
In this report to the PA House of Representatives, with the furnace roaring its way back to reportedly producing 1,000 tons of pig iron a year, a dark cloud is closing in on Cornwell, Locks, and Becker and the entire furnace operation. According to a journal written by C.C. Boyden and published in the November 3, 1904 edition of Iron Age, while visiting the furnace on February 13, 1837, Boyden states the furnace was soon to be sold at a sheriff's sale. But with the financial panic of 1837 setting in, William C. Cornwell sells all of his properties, including deed number 2 to the Susan Ann furnace, to John Harr, listed throughout the furnace daybook and on the handwritten deed, not John Herr of Hellam. The furnace, now under Harr, Locks, and Becker, continues operations until February 28, 1839, day of the sheriff's sale, officially closing Susan Ann furnace for good, but not forever. Christopher Geiger, with partners Philip and Samuel Small, buy the furnace, rebuilding it once again, this time as Manor Furnace. They operate it unsuccessfully over the next few years, shutting it down by 1846, when they moved to Maryland and built the Ashland Furnace, well before the start of the Civil War. This time, Susan Ann Furnace's fires will never be relit.
Today, colorful glass slag lines the banks where the water wheel that powered the original sawmill and furnace bellows once stood. And the furnace itself, now mostly buried, overgrown, and fallen in.
I'm Dirtman, rewriting history and bringing the geology to you. From here on Manor Furnace Road in Chelmsford Township, back to you, Jerry.